Hey everyone. Oops, lost low connection network. Uh-oh. Am I live? Can you check? Somebody? Sorry, he said we didn't really have a connection. I think we're live. Welcome back to our weekly Wednesday updates, everyone. We're just checking, just be patient with us. We've got to check to see if this is working or not. I know there's a delay too. Sorry. Good? Okay. I bet you didn't know it was National Fossil Day. Happy Fossil Day, everybody. National Fossil Day. And I'm going to share with you some of the cool fossils we have in the store. But before I do that, I just want to, I have a little message from Mark Zuckerberg. Not that he's going to hear it. You never know. I thought I'd give it a shot. So we all love Facebook, right? That's why we're on it. We love Facebook. Personally, I've gotten so much out of it. I've connected with people from my past. I've made new friendships. I have a couple of great stories that I won't share now, maybe next week, about people I connected with. So we all love Facebook. It's a huge phenomena, but it's also become the most powerful influencer of our times, of our culture. And in light of what happened with the election, I just want to make a plea to Mark Zuckerberg that to be really careful and to think about regulating what's on it because of what happened. It is so powerful. I'm going to read a quote by James Williams, who is an ex-Google strategist who built the metric system for the company's global search advertising business. And he's had a front row view of an industry he describes as the largest, most standardized, and most centralized form of attentional control in human history. And of course, it's not just Facebook, it's also Google and the other social media platforms, but Facebook is so big that it's one of the most influential. And then the guy that co-created the like button for Facebook, his last name is Rosenstein, he believes there may be a case for state regulation of psychologically manipulative advertising. Maybe a case? I'd say definitely a case. I mean, you don't want it to be like the National Enquirer, do you, Mark? Come on. We need to have more respectful advertising on Facebook. I think you need to have the utmost ethics, the utmost morality, the highest of consciousness behind it because it's so powerful. And I mean, like, what were you thinking when the Russians were buying all those ads? I can only think of two things. One is you didn't think it would have that much of an impact, or two, you were just too greedy to care. So I hope it was actually number one because the greed thing, that's not cool at all. So anyway, that's my little plea for Mark Zuckerberg. Thank you for humoring me, everyone else listening. So before I talk about the fossils, I just want to remind you that we're having a Halloween giveaway. We've got a huge basket full of goodies. On Tuesday, I'm going to pull them out of the boxes for you to actually see. But there's a carved quartz skull, there's an orange calcite sphere, and there's a tiger eye bat necklace with a bunch of candy worth $100. And all you have to do is enter. It's on our Facebook page, or you could go to our website, the home page, bottom of the page, events and promotions, and you could enter there too. So today is National Fossil Day, and if you live in Oregon and you haven't been to the John Day Fossil Beds, I highly recommend you go check it out. It's really interesting, and also take a little side trip to the Painted Hills. It's just beautiful. And Oregon is known for its prehistoric animal fossils. We have the biggest selection of prehistoric animal fossils, I think, in the world in Oregon. Now, you can't dig them up, but you can go see them. There's an interpretive center. There's a hike you can do where they actually have displays in the rocks where you can look to see how they're found. And there is a dig at the high school in Fossil, Oregon, where you can dig up leaf fossils for, I think they charge $2. It's really cool. And in the football field back there in the high school. So, okay. And I know there's fossils all over the U.S. in certain areas like Wyoming and the Badlands in South Dakota, Montana, and so forth. So if you live out there, that's exciting because you could go in your own backyard and dig them up. Oh, in Delta, Utah, there's the trilobites. I believe there's some in Ohio. There's trilobites in Oklahoma and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of our more interesting fossils in the store as well as some of my favorites. Well, first of all, we have dinosaur bone. Now, dinosaur bone, see if I could get this, if you could see that. Dinosaur bone has a certain pattern that you can always tell it's dinosaur bone when you see that pattern. Now, they don't know exactly what dinosaur it came from, but they know for sure it's definitely dinosaur. And these all come from Utah. And we have dinosaur bone in jewelry as well. And it's just so fascinating to hold a piece of a dinosaur. So interesting. And of course, one of the reasons we love fossils so much is because they tell us about our past, about the evolution of the earth. And we're always learning. And they're always digging up new fossils too and adding to the fossil record. So the fossil record is a big book that has cataloged all the fossils that have ever been found. And so when they find a new one, they'll look in the fossil book to see if it's already listed, and if not, then they have to go through the channels with the paleontologists from around the universities to catalog it as a new find. And so always in the news, like almost every month it seems like they find a new one, so it's really interesting. And then the other thing we have from dinosaurs is their poop, their fossilized poop. It's called coprolite. And this is what it looks like. This is, it got replaced by agate and jasper, and so they're able to cut and polish it. And it's got all sorts of colors in there, like beige and green and red and blue. And the interesting thing about this is that the paleontologists can tell what they were eating, what their diet was like by studying the fossil of the remains. Now, it turned into stone. It doesn't smell. A lot of people pick it up and try to smell it. It doesn't smell. It's stone. It turned into rock. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for watching. And the other thing we have from dinosaurs are these spinosaurid teeth. I'm a spinosaurid dinosaur, and here's a picture of what that particular dinosaur looked like. Okay, and then the oldest fossil we have is stromatolite. And stromatolite is fossilized bacteria or algae. And this one's from Peru, and it dates back 2.3 billion years ago. Can you imagine? It's impossible to comprehend. I mean, 1 million years is hard enough to comprehend, let alone a few million to couple of billion years old. And then this is pretty interesting. This is a fossilized shrimp. This is from Lebanon, not Lebanon, Oregon, Lebanon in the Middle East. And then we have, let's see, we have these fish fossils. Now I love these because they're so graphic. These are from Wyoming. We have a few from China that look a little different, but the Wyoming ones are in this sandstone, limestone stuff, and they come from Kemmerer, Wyoming, the Green River Formation. And there's mostly 2 different species that come from there. There's also some rare species like Priscacara and stuff, but these are the more common ones, although this particular species, this is a Diplomistus, and the other species is a Nidia. Let me go grab one and show you the difference. So this is a Nidia, and you can see that the Diplomistus has better detail in the skeleton. That's how you can tell the difference. And about 1 out of every 100 fish that they dig out of the area there is actually Diplomistus. So these are much more rare than the Nidia. But we have a good stock of these. And by the way, these have not been painted. This is just the natural mineral that replaced the fossil. Now, some other people do paint their fish, but I always get them from this one guy that does not. Our smaller fish are touched up. These aren't them, but we have some smaller ones that are like $14, $16, and those have been touched up a little. One of my favorite fossils are the trilobites because, well, first of all, trilobites are the oldest creature. They're over 500 million years old. And they were the first creature to have eyes. Now these 2 are from Morocco. Oh, can you grab me one from Utah, please? Sure. And I'll show you the oldest species. These aren't the oldest species. This one's a Phacopterana species, and this one's a Metacanthus species. And they evolved over the millions of years into most of the insects and shellfish that exist today. So as they evolved, they mutated and they formed into 1 million different species. This is the oldest species. This is from Utah, Delta, Utah. And this is before they had eyes. So this one's like 550 million years old. And these have not been painted. This is just the minerals that replace the fossil. We also have this great chart. It's a reproduction of a chart from the 1800s that shows the evolution of this particular species of trilobite. This is called an Alrathia kingi. Now, some fossils are found in what's called a concretion. It's like a mud ball. So you wind up with a positive and negative. You open it up, and you've got the positive. This is a different species of trilobite from Morocco. This one, I believe, is an Andalusiana species. And so you got the positive and negative. Trilobites are great because they have such character. Each one's different. They have like little personalities. I love them. And one of the other fossils that I love are ammonites. Ammonites date back over 300 million years ago, and they are the ancestor of the chambered nautilus. And there's so many different kinds of ammonites depending on the species and the minerals that replace them. So you could find all different kinds of ammonites around the world. This one's from Madagascar, and they cut it and polished it, so there's another half of it somewhere. This is what it looks like on the back. Sometimes it's a little iridescent. Here's another one from Madagascar. This one's iridescent. Let's see if you can see it there. Right there. It's got some pretty rainbow colors. Oh, there we go. I love these. This one's also from Madagascar, but you can see it's all different species. And these are called suture marks, and the suture marks tell what species they are. A paleontologist can look at this and from the suture marks tell what kind of species it is. Here's one from a different location. This one's from Germany. It's called Dactylioceras ammonite, and it's from Schliefhausen. Hey, Tim. And I love these because they're so textured. And these are super, super rare, too. Let's see, what else? Oh, and these are, I think these are my all-time favorite. These are ammonites that were replaced with pyrite from Germany. I just love the pyritized ammonites. They're super cool. They look totally fake because they're gold, but they're not. They find them and they wire brush them to reveal the pyrite. And sometimes these are layered and textured too. Like there's a bunch of different ones in this piece here. We used to get them from Russia. We have a pendant of the Russian pyritized ammonites. This is what the Russian ones look like. These are super pretty, except for they got really hard to get and extraordinarily expensive. So I saw them at the last show, but I didn't get any. They're just too expensive. And then ammonite from Canada. So it's a kind of ammonite, but it's very iridescent. Let's see if I could get the... There we go. That one's got a lot of greens. It's got all colors like reds and greens. I think you can only see green in that one, huh? But these are very spendy too. They cut them up and they sell it by the carat and they put it in jewelry. Like these little pieces are $55, and that's a good deal too. Let's see, is there any other fossils? I think that's it for those are just some of the fossils we have in the store. And I just also wanted to share real quick, one of the new things we put out is the Druzy chrome chalcedony from Turkey. See how sparkly it is? Really sparkly and pretty. And it's a new material, nobody's ever seen it before, and we have a few pieces in the store. Well, that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. You can join in on Mondays if you're interested in the healing properties of stones. We share information we know and have about the healing properties at 2 o'clock on Mondays. And then next Tuesday I'm going to open up the prizes for the Halloween contest, and you can see what those look like. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good week. Take care.